Hey guys, Clone Guy here, and today is Thursday, which means flashback time, and we are taking a look at the King of the Hill 2 versus 2 tournament that I did with Baconating 4 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. This was the second ever King of the Hill event, and this was the first time I'd heard about it, so I decided, hey, let's give it a go. Let's say, Baconating, you want to try this? And he was like, yeah, dude, let's do this. So I'm playing with my roommate, a.k.a. Fisher of Men, who was using Baconating's account for this first game. Well, Baconating had work. He was a Marine, and so he's going to be getting home late. And so he lent his account to a.k.a. Fisher of Men, my roommate, so this would have been 3 years ago, to play the first game. And we're in E50s. And AK does a great job this first game, you know, just doing what he needs to do. But then again, he is a super duper unicum. He used to be in the top 10 way back in the day, so he's a great roommate to have. We'll just say that. But then after this game, Baconating does take over. And now this was before anybody knew who I was. I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers. I think I had maybe 500, maybe 200. We were a low-end channel. I mean, technically, I guess we still are, right? We were getting sub 300 views a video. Nobody knew who I was in game. They didn't know I was Unicum. They didn't know I was Super Unicum. And I remember just listening to the commentary on these videos by the guys who are filming, and they were like, you know, who are these people, kind of a thing. And it was cool. And we were not the favorited team by any means. But Baconating and I decided to use E50s for this tournament. We were going to go, unfortunately, we signed up a little bit late, like 2 days before this started, so we had no time to grind for anything. We wanted to go with Object 430 version 2s, but Baconating did not have one of those. So we decided to go with dual E50s, because this was back before the E50 got mega nerfed. And as long as we stick together and just focus a singular tank out, there's not much they can do because we have higher DPM, we have health like them, we have armor like them, we have nice penetration. Unfortunately, the start of this first battle, we're kind of just getting our bearings, and you see us kind of fluff our shots a few times on this T10. But now we've just decided to push him. AK goes in with the ram there and pushes his gun out of the way. If you saw his perspective, what happened there, because he rammed him, his gun swung wildly, and it made him miss his shot, so it was kind of cool. But now we just have the DPM advantage on this ST1 or STI, whatever you want to call it. We bounce a shell off his lower plate. It happens sometimes. But now, again, AK rams him, and his turret goes bloop, and his shell goes nowhere near where he was aiming. This was also back when there was a lot of latency errors, so sometimes when your gun was pointed, you weren't actually pointed. But there goes our first victims of the day. Down, gone, dead. GG. We win round one. And round one is that round where you're hoping you don't go up against the greatest of players. Because you don't want to be out right away, of course. And these players are good players. They absolutely are. You know, it could have gone either way. I just don't think their tank choices were the greatest. This is the first time they used tier 9 for something other than WCL. Right, so for a 2 versus 2, I'm sure people are like, okay, what do we use for tier 9? Thankfully, Baconating and I thought it out, and we chose E50s. Now we're going up against the Storm and Flashy Leopard, 2 super duper Unicums. And there were a few teams that were chosen to win this tournament. People thought this team was going to win because these guys have 4,000 W and 8. These guys are insane players. And then, of course, you have, like, the Magna Flash Boy teams, which I don't know why people thought he would win. And then you have things like Desert Storm team, and then you had a team, Steel Titan, and Steel Titan, a lot of people consider him to be the best player in the game. So you had a lot of really good teams in this game, and those are the ones that were expected to win. And so we're, of course, battling for our lives here, you know, trying to keep up with them, because Baconating, I don't even think he was Unicum at the time yet, and I think was just now scratching Super Unicum. So we were just rising, if anything, and we've come to a position to try to catch these guys crossing, but they are not bad players, and they know to cross as far away from this middle ridge as possible on airfield, or we will spot them and catch them out and slap them into absolute oblivion. Unfortunately, they're not stupid, which we were kind of hoping that they would be. but you know they're not. Oh, but Baconating does finally. He pushes up here and he gets a shot on. Now we have a shot. Boom, we put it in, and we are up to an early lead. The Storm, I believe he's the better player between these two. I'm not 100% sure. You guys can go look him up if you want. Maybe I'm wrong. But we have put 3 shots into him. He made the crucial mistake of crossing a little bit too close. Baconating pushed in, and boom, he's gonna get another shell into him. Come on, Baconating. No, he's not. The guy gets around the corner. But look at that there. They have bled 30% of their hit points, and we're still sitting pretty at 100%. Now, these games are 5 minutes each, and if the game ties, it goes to the team with more health. Now, we duck underneath this guy's gun, and he does miss us, and we're going to push in and allow Baconating to put shots in above us. I remember my roommate, AK Fisherman, watching and being like, why are you doing that? You probably shouldn't do that. You should stay with your teammate. But Baconating and I did have a plan. He and I have this incredible synergy. He's one of my favorite players to ever play within this game. Like, we can just go out and do things, and we completely understand each other and know what we're doing. And so I've pushed up here, and he is giving me cover fire, which you can do. We're hoping to isolate these guys, get them to get overly aggressive because they're losing health, so they may want to make a play. But because they actually are losing health, they don't want to make a play. They're kind of turtling up. And that allows Bacon now to make his play without getting spotted. So hopefully they'll think he's still in that cover fire position. As long as he doesn't get too close to this guy right here, he should be good. Now they see me moving up. They see both of us moving up. Flashy Leopard is on the right, and he has to turn around. But I'm going to wait for Baconating to catch up, and then I think we're just going to send it. We have the hit point advantage. I take a hit there, but I do deliver one in return and bounce a shell as well. And now Baconating is going to... We're going to just push in. The Flashy Leopard has pulled back to a point where he can no longer support his ally, so we may as well just go in. Flashy Leopard realizes his mistake, but it's too late. Baconating puts a shell in. We get to the side of Flashy Leopard, and he goes down. Sorry, of the Storm, he goes down. Then Flashy Leopard puts a shell into Baconating instead of me, sharing our hit points, and now it's 1 versus 2. We both put our shells in. He rams. I ram into the back of him, trying to add a little bit more damage. Baconating takes a hit, and now we're going to get behind him. Baconating puts a shell in, and we should finish him off here. Oh, he bounces the shell off of Bacon. No, we bounced the shell off of the bad guy, off the Conqueror, but we're both going to be loaded now, and so he should go down. Baconating does roll high enough and finishes off the regular Conqueror, not the Super Conqueror. I don't think the Super Conqueror was even in the game yet, but maybe it was. Regardless, we do pick up that win. Baconating doing 2,300 damage. Fantastic job by him. We led the push, and yet he took more damage and did more damage, so... you know, we both had our roles. Fantastic job, Baconating. Next, we are going up against McLovin, who is also a Super Unicum, and I don't know who this other Eye for an Eye guy is, but I do know that McLovin switched over to Nightmare after this, and then eventually so did myself and Baconating. I guess we did decently enough that they were like, hey, you guys want to join Nightmare? And we're like, sure, why not? But they pull out a Bat Chat and a T-54. Bat Chat's a decent idea, I feel. You know, it has that magazine, and it can clip out pretty much 1,800, almost every single tier 9 in the game. But then you're on reload, and your singular player is by himself. And even if you do manage to kill a single guy, now your T-54 or whatnot has to fight against one guy by himself in a one-on-one. Does he have the skills to do that? Does he have the RNG to do that? Does he have the tank to do that? You know, all these factors are playing into this. And meanwhile, with just 2 E50s, we have high DPM, the same DPM as the E50M at the time. We actually have higher DPM than our modern E50M, which got its rate of fire nerf for reasons still unclear to me. So yeah, we're just going to be rolling in and hopefully ramming some people. This was before Mercenaries, in fact, which is great. This was back when the game was at its prime. Good stuff. But we're coming around this corner. We both get spotted. We fire our shells at the Bat Chat. We both miss, unfortunately. Here comes the T-54. And now we have to make a decision. Bat Chat or T-54? T-54 bounces off of us, and we're like, Bat Chat, bye T-54, we don't care about you. You are a nobody. We both fire our shells, and we both hit. T-54 puts a shell into us. Bat Chat bounces off from our front, and now we're going straight after this guy, getting him out of the game. I remember the commentators being like, they should go after the T-54 first, because this guy, after he empties his clip, is going to have to reload, so he's going to be useless. After he empties his clip, he's going to have to reload, and if he gets away, he'll empty another clip. That's 3,600 damage, and that's not something you want to have happen to you. Now we're ignoring the Bat Chat here. And because why not? He's not paying attention. If he comes back around the corner, we are just going to shoot him. And here he comes around the corner. He's going to be aiming up a shot, but Baconating was expecting him and kills him. He's down, dead, gone, out of the game. Was that Baconating? Was that me? That was Baconating. He goes down, and now it's just the singular T-54 who's trying his way with Baconating, but Baconating blocks him from going anywhere and puts a shell in and finishes him off, and we pull that one off. 55% health. They were only able to damage Baconating, and it wasn't even the Bat Chat. The Bat Chat did nothing, so we actually did have a plan. That's right, that's what they were saying. They're like, why aren't they shooting the Bat Chat to finish him off? And that was because we did have a plan. We're not gonna chase after that Bat Chat once he got away like that. Then we're just allowing the T-54 to do even more damage to us. We're gonna make that Bat Chat come after us, because why not? He has no armor, we have the guns, so we're gonna do just that. Next up, we're up against Polar Dip and Unum Frostbite. Again, two super Unicums. Baconating and I were like, oh boy. I mean, I think this is the second to last match. Was it? I am not sure. Let me see. I don't know. Yeah, it is the second to last match. So there are 4 teams left. So, of course, you're going to be fighting against a fantastic team. And Polar Dip and Unum Frostbite are no slouches, that's for sure. Good players. But Baconating and I are... This is going to be an intense one. Each one of these games, other than that last one, has kind of gotten a little bit more and more intense as we play. Actually, that last one... yeah, I guess so. And this one is no exception. This one gets crazy at the end here. And pretty like, how are we going to pull this one off? Baconating is going for the skill drive, and he crashes there into the leg of this thing, whatever it is. And we go straight in. We see the E75 put a shell in, and when we pull into cover, we get the first early shot off. 12% of their hit points gone already. That's a great way to start. We're now 10% up, but they still have a Bat Chat. And they've made it this far with the Bat Chat, so it's clearly working for them. So that's something we have to be concerned about, because clearly they know what they're doing with their Bat Chat. We really want to get that Bat Chat out of the way quickly as quickly as possible. Now, these walls do provide us with concealment, so neither of us spot each other. And now we both enter the cap circle, and now they're kind of in a panic. They're both turning around like, oh, they're both in the cap circle. Polar Dip spots us there through the window. But we're going to be spreading out, hoping Baconating doesn't get spotted here. We kind of want him to remain unspotted because he hasn't been spotted thus far. Here comes the E75 on our left. He puts a shell into us, but we're going to go straight after this Bat Chat. We want him out of the game here. And so we're going to try to take him down. Can we get a shell in? No, we miss our shot. Baconating misses his... Oh, did he hit his tracks? No, he misses his shot as well. And now we're in a ring around the rosy. But the E75 is turning around, getting ready. Now they own the cap circle, and this is where it gets a little bit hairy. Now I go after this E75. We trade shots. Neither of us pen each other. But we're going to beat his reload. The Bat Chat is too far away to kind of support him right now, so we should be able to get a shell in. Yes, we do. We get a shot in. Baconating is getting ready for the Bat Chat, but the Bat Chat is now coming this way. E75 puts a shell into our drive wheel. We fix that. But here comes the Bat Chat. We put a shell in, but he breaks our tracks off, and this guy's going to put another shell into us. But he expects the E75 to finish, or the E75 expects the Bat Chat to finish, but the E50 pulls out in front, so the E75 puts the shell into Baconating instead. We both double tap the Bat Chat. The Bat Chat goes down. The E75 realizes his mistake. Now Baconating is behind him. He's going to put a shell into him. I bounce my shell off of him, and we're going to get finished off here as he puts a shell through our upper plate with his APCR. Everybody's spamming premium, and you should be. Baconating now puts a shell into his drive wheel. The guy has a repair kit left, so he's going to skirt past him with the mobile E50 and kind of hug him here. And then juke him going backwards and then going forwards, getting absolutely around him, taking a shell of the tracks, then setting him on fire and finishing off the E75. Baconating, coming in clutch there, getting the win, setting us to the finals, the championship. And again, the Bat Chat does nothing. We focused it down, and the E75 just did not have the DPM to compete, which is what happened last game versus the T-54 and the Bat Chat. Now we're up against Segmented Dig and Rising Devil, and I have no idea who these guys are, but they're in a T-54 and an E-50, and apparently they had just beaten, I think it was not Desert Storm, maybe it was Desert Storm, I think it was Steel Titan's team, maybe it was Steel Titan and Desert Storm, regardless, maybe it was Kellen, it was like one of those three. They defeated the favorite team in the semifinals, and so we're Baconating and are like, okay, who are these guys? And they're probably thinking, okay, who are these guys? You have two no-name teams make it to the finals here, the championship, and I'm sure everybody was like, wait, who are these people? You know, it's just like, it was kind of cool to see just us and them, like, who are they? I don't know. But we are in two E50s, and they're in two T50, in a T54 and an E50 as well. And after this fight, Baconating and I agreed that this game would have gone a whole lot differently if we were in Object 430 version 2s. He's like, we probably would have won. Hands down, we would have won this fight if we were in Object 430 version 2s. But you know what? We mustn't look back and think of things we should have done or shouldn't have done. We're going up against these guys, and we're going to take the middle here. We have Baconating misses a shot. Here comes the E50, sorry. They put a shell into me. I missed my shot. And they're just going in. They're coming straight for me, the clone guy. So we have to really focus fire. And so we're going after this T54 first. I take another shot. But I bounce a return shot from someone. We put another shell in the T54. Can I put a shell into him? We put another shell in the T54. We ammo wreck him. Now Baconating is a 1 versus 2, and one of them is full health, but we did ammo wreck this T54. He's going to be using the T54 as cover now and hiding behind him to try to keep this E50 from shooting him. But the T54, there we go. He blocks a shell from the E50. Then he blocks another shell from the T54, who is shooting premium rounds, and so he shoots it into his tracks. Baconating puts a shell into Rising Devil here because he doesn't quite have a shot on the T54. Rising Devil puts a shell back into Baconating. Baconating is now trading evenly, but he bounces a shot. He had a shot on the T54, but the E50 did a great job blocking that shot. But then the E50 bounces his shot off of Baconating. Baconating decides, all right, fine. If you're not going to let me shoot your T54, I'm just going to shoot you. And so he does. T54 comes around the corner. T54 puts a shell in, but E50 is now blocked. That allows Baconating to get around him, put a shell into him, and now... Oh, Baconating takes a hit. He's a one shot from the T54 or the E50. My goodness, he's gonna put a shell straight into him somehow here. Yes, he puts it into his turret. Now he's backing up. Oh, angles, over angles, under angles, gives him a lot of his side. The shell goes into his upper plate and it bounces off. Baconating has one shot. Can he put it in? And he does it. He rolls high. 409 damage done there. And Baconating with another clutch, 2 huge clutches in a row, pulls off the victory. Unfortunately, we charged in. That was their play. We wanted to get in there and play aggressively, and they focused me down. But Baconating kept his cool, and he somehow managed to pull off the win, 2 versus 1, against a team that beat some of the best players in this game. Great job, Baconating. Baconating then, after this, very rapidly rose up to Unicum, and then rose up to Super Unicum. An absolute stud of a player. But now that he's in the Marines, he's doing a lot of work, and he doesn't play as much. But then again, I don't play at all, so yeah. But great job Baconating there by pulling off the victory there. We were kind of just the focus support. Yeah, here, come shoot me. I mean, we showed up to fight into the fight second, so they focused me because they had side shots. It is what it is. But yeah, if we were in Object 430 version 2s, that fight would have gone so differently because they would not have been able to pen us every single time. Because that was my issues. They penned me with every shot they fired. If I was in on Object 432, we think they would have at least bounced 1 shot, maybe 2 off of me, and then the game would have been completely different. But we still won, so you know you can't bash it. You can't be like, oh well, you should have used this tank. You should have used that tank. We won. At the end of the day, we can't look back and be like, man, we should have done this. But at the same time, if you're able to do that, then you're also learning from your wins, which is good too. But there it is. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, slap that like button, comment, subscribe. Make sure you go check out SpaceBANDIT. Link in the description below. And this was the games that kind of, I think, my name and Baconating's name. We kind of suddenly people knew who we were. Like, oh, those guys are no slouches. Like, oh, darn it, like we kind of went unnoticed in the games, and now we don't so much. But that's all good. Sir Tubbins invited me. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, maybe it was Sir Tubbins who had just lost. I don't know. But that's it. Thanks guys for tuning in. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you do, slap that like. Oh, I remember now. He invited me to join Immortals, and then I turned him down, and he was so mad. It was so funny. All right, that's it. And that was this. So yeah, this was when I suddenly became hated by the Immortals and the Unicum community. Was because of this. I said no to Tubbins, and I guess that did it. All right, that's it. Thanks guys, and I'll see you guys all later. Take care, everyone, and peace out.